Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. With the paddock back on Spanish soil at MotorLand Aragón, Ducati Lenovo arrives with contrasting fortunes. Marc Márquez hopes to reinforce his championship lead after a gritty British GP podium, while Pecco Bagnaia seeks redemption on a circuit that holds special significance in his career. Tensions run high as Marc leads the standings by 72 points, and Bagnaia looks to recapture the magic that delivered his first MotoGP victory here in 2021. As Jorge Martín continues his recovery from a frustrating string of injuries, his manager and longtime friend Albert Valera insists the relationship with Aprilia remains on solid ground. Speaking after Martín surprised fans by hopping on an RS660 at Misano's All-Stars event, Valera stressed that open dialogue and mutual trust make success this season very much possible. We can still achieve great things. After a weekend of dashed hopes at Silverstone, Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins arrive at MotorLand Aragón determined to turn the tide. With 3 consecutive poles but no wins so far in 2025, Quartararo knows every opportunity counts. Meanwhile, Yamaha will field wildcard Augusto Fernandez as they continue to refine the M1. Here's how the team plans to rebound. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. After finishing third at Silverstone, where he managed tire wear and late race incidents masterfully, Marquez arrives at Aragon confident. Known for excelling on tracks with flowing left-handers, the 93 rider has 6 wins at Alcanis, including his breakthrough Gresini triumph in 2024. He sees Aragon as an arena that plays to his strengths and is eager to convert his consistency into another win. We arrive at MotorLand after 2 solid weekends in which we didn't win, but we were able to manage situations and unforeseen events in the best possible way, scoring very important points for the championship. This is a track I like, one that suits my riding characteristics well and has many left-hand corners. I've won a lot here and have always been competitive. We'll approach the weekend with our all and work hard in Monday's test to prepare as best we can for the upcoming Grand Prix, Marquez said. In stark contrast, Bagnaia arrives on the back of 2 successive 0 points at Le Mans and Silverstone, leaving him visibly disappointed and uneasy. Yet Aragon remains etched in his memory. It was here that he secured his maiden MotoGP victory in 2021, winning a thrilling duel with his teammate Marc. Bagnaia acknowledges the difficulties but leans on his emotional bond with the circuit as fuel to rekindle his form. The last 2 Grands Prix haven't been easy. We've suffered a lot but also worked hard. And that's something we'll continue to do here in Aragon, both in the race and in Monday's test. This is a circuit that's close to my heart. I achieved my first MotoGP victory here, my first with the Ducati Lenovo team, after a beautiful duel with Marc. We'll build on that feeling, and we'll remain focused on our work to become competitive again, Bagnaia said. Marquez sits atop the standings with 196 points. While Bagnaia languishes down on 124, a 72-point deficit. Ducati's clear goal is to extend Marc's lead, but they also face internal pressure to aid Bagnaia's revival. The dynamic between the 2 champions becomes ever more pivotal as the season reaches its midpoint, and both riders understand that Aragon's outcome could define Ducati's momentum heading into the summer break. Ducati's focus will center on fine-tuning both riders' setups during Monday's post-race test. Marc aims to capitalize on his rhythm, optimizing stability through Aragon's sweeping corners. Bagnaia, meanwhile, will lean on Aragon's familiarity, seeking incremental improvements in chassis balance and front-end feel. Both will share data, yet the unmistakable tension to outperform one another underscores Ducati's quest for a 1-2 result. As MotoGP's second Spanish round looms, Marquez strives to consolidate his championship grip on a beloved track, while Bagnaia looks to reignite the spark that once brought him victory at Aragon. With 72 points sealing their divide, one thing is certain: Aragon will test Ducati's resolve as much as it will challenge its riders' hearts. Martín wasn't scheduled to ride at Misano, but when he saw the Aprilia pits and the RS660 waiting, he simply couldn't resist. Valera recounted how Martín, still hospital-bound in Qatar earlier this year, sprang into action once he caught sight of the track. Jorge was very happy to be able to ride yesterday. Actually, that wasn't really the idea, because he's still recovering from his injury, but already at Barcelona airport he told me he wanted to try riding. By midday at Misano, after getting an Alpinestars suit, he did about 20 laps and had a great time, Valera said. Seeing Martín's smile underlined Valera's relief. For the first time in months the world champion felt like himself again. Valera didn't shy away from admitting just how brutal Martín's year has been. After a first crash in Malaysia, a second, far worse, followed in Qatar, leaving Martín hospitalized and isolated. Valera likened the run of bad luck to Murphy's Law, forcing long hours alone that tested Martín's resolve. It was very tough. No one would have thought that after his first injury in Malaysia he'd get injured again in Qatar. It was like Murphy's Law, everything you don't need happens to you. Those days in the hospital bedside made you reflect a lot. Yet watching Martín strap into an Aprilia again marked a turning point, proof that the champion's mind was as healthy as his body was healing. Backed by mutual statements from rider and team, Valera acknowledged Martín's announcement of intending to trigger his release clause. But he insisted there's no knife edge moment brewing, just ongoing conversations rooted in good faith. Aprilia issued a statement, "We made another, because it was necessary to talk and explain Jorge's situation to everyone. We all have good faith and we are talking. We'll see what happens in the future. But today the important thing was to enjoy being with the fans." With the contract still in effect, Valera emphasized that whatever unfolds, it won't overshadow Martín's warm reception at Misano and the championship's long road ahead. Even as speculation swirls, Valera is resolute that Martín can still conquer races this year. He praised Aprilia's RSGP resurgence, citing Marco Bezzecchi's victory at Silverstone as evidence that the bike is capable of winning. Now, all that remains is for rider and manufacturer to rebuild momentum together. Every race is a lottery, even with Aprilia or any other bike. Victory depends on many factors. Silverstone showed the RSGP has excellent pace. We have to be united with Aprilia, working towards a common goal. I think it can be achieved, I'm sure of it. With several Grands Prix still to come, Valera believes his champion's return to action marks the start of a second chapter, one where unity, focus, and faith can turn adversity into triumph. As Jorge Martín takes tentative steps back into riding and contractual talks with Aprilia continue in good faith. The message from Albert Valera is clear: the season is far from over. With the championship still within reach and Martín's passion undimmed, Aprilia and their wounded hero may yet write a comeback story worth celebrating. Quartararo admitted that watching his machine fail while leading by a significant margin was tough to swallow, for himself, the team, and the fans. Yet he emphasized the positives. The pace was there, and he still believes Yamaha can fight at the front if they replicate that form. The British GP didn't end the way we wanted, and at that moment it was super hard to take, not only for me, but also for the team, the engineers, and the fans. But there were also positives to take from that race. I was very fast and we led the race by a wide margin. It was a great feeling. So now our goal is to keep working like we have been doing to create another opportunity like that to fight at the front again. Quartararo's statement. He acknowledged Aragon is notoriously tricky for the Yamaha chassis, yet he's committed to giving 100%, despite the challenge ahead. While Quartararo chases elusive wins, Alex Rins sits 17th in the standings and is aiming to salvage better results in Aragon. The Spaniard scored well here last year and believes with incremental gains, Yamaha can edge closer to their targets. We've completed roughly a third of the 2025 MotoGP season, and we're improving step by step, but we're far from where we want to be. The Aragon track isn't easy, but we're coming into this GP with ambition and a positive mindset about where and how we can improve. I had a solid race here last year, and I hope we can improve on our last result," Rins said. Yamaha's commitment to development is on full display in Aragon. Test team members will join the garage, and wildcard rider Augusto Fernandez will help gather extra data on the M1's performance under race conditions. Team principal Massimo Marigali stressed the importance of methodical progress. It was an emotional end to the British GP for Fabio and the team, so the week-long break was a welcome period of rest and reflection for all of us. It's allowed us to catch our breath, gain perspective, and plot a plan of action for the next round. MotorLand Aragón is a beautiful track. It's not a typical Yamaha circuit, but that makes it a good testing ground. Marigali's statement. He added that confirming another jump forward in Aragon would validate the upgrades Yamaha has introduced. If we see another level of positive performance this weekend, our improvements will be confirmed. It's essential to continue working methodically, as we have done so far this season. We'll also have our test team at this GP, so our goal is to collect good data while we work on the bike's development. The RGA test will also take place on Monday, where the bike evaluation will continue. With Quartararo chasing redemption and Rins striving for consistency, Yamaha's Aragon weekend hinges on translating raw speed into reliability. The addition of Augusto Fernandez and the test squad underscores a clear focus on development. If the M1 can deliver again on a circuit that's historically tough for Yamahas, this could be the turning point the team desperately needs. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!